will have her charts documenting all her pre-existing conditions. I was fighting so hard to move, to speak, to do anything. My mouth started working a little better, and I managed to say, "I heard," but it came out as a whisper. The surgeon was right next to me and didn't hear. He said to the nurse in Spanish, "Start the infection protocol. Give her antibiotics now so when the infection from the clamp starts, we can say we were already treating her for something else." The nurse said, "This feels wrong." He said, "You want to lose your license? You counted the instruments. You signed off. You're just as responsible as I am." Her face went pale and she said, "I'll get the antibiotics." The burning in my abdomen was getting worse. It felt like something sharp was cutting me from the inside. I knew it was the clamp. The anesthesia was wearing off more and I could move my hands now. I pressed the call button over and over. A different nurse came in and I tried to tell her, but my words were still slurred. "Something wrong," I managed to say. She checked my vitals and said in English, "Everything looks fine. You're recovering well." My surgeon came back in and said to her in Spanish, "She's complaining about pain. That's expected. Don't call me unless her temperature spikes." She nodded and left. He stood over me and said in Spanish to the original nurse, "If she codes, we say it was diabetic shock, understood?" The nurse said, "Understood." That's when my throat finally cleared and I could speak normally. I looked right at him and said in perfect Spanish, "I understood every single word you said about leaving a clamp inside me and blaming my diabetes." His face went completely white. I switched to English and said, "I want the hospital administrator in this room right now or I'm calling the police." The nurse started crying. My surgeon tried to say, "You're confused from the anesthesia," but I cut him off and said in Spanish, "You told her to document fake infection history. You told the other doctor you'd let me die and call it sepsis. Should I keep going?" The hospital administrator came running when the nurse paged her. I told her everything while my surgeon stood there frozen. She called for an emergency scan and they found the clamp. I had emergency surgery an hour later to remove the clamp. Both doctors lost their medical licenses and the nurse was fired. I still have pain from the botched surgery, but at least the hospital settled my lawsuit for enough money that I'll never have to work again.